Welcome to the Gamehouse Overwatch League recap for Day 2 of Week 5. For the first map of the night, we had a colonial showdown, with the Philadelphia Fusion taking on the Boston Uprising. On Eichenwald, the tone of the match was set early, with the Uprising taking a commanding lead against the Fusion. The first map featured unstoppable defensive strategies from the Uprising, with their combined efforts preventing the Fusion from grabbing any points. This strategy paid off in the long run, with the Uprising easily winning the first map by breezing by the Fusion. Philly pushed back after the first map, with their attack run on Horizon Lunar Colony earning them both of the coveted points. However, Boston was not backing down, and with some great plays by Dreamcasper and Striker in their iconic Genji and Tracer modes, they managed to tie up the game. When the two teams fought for more points, the Uprising were able to grab 2 more, limiting the Fusion to 1 and taking the second map. The Fusion needed to win Helios if they wanted a chance at making a comeback, but unfortunately for them, the Uprising had other plans. The Uprising grabbed point A and held it until 99%, but the Fusion managed to take them down and the point in overtime. Unfortunately, that victorious moment was short-lived, as the Uprising stole the point back and proceeded to take not only point A, but point B later as well. With the match already given to the Uprising, Junkrat was a map where the Fusion could at least grab some points. With a valiant effort, they managed to grab all 3 points on offense, but as they had been demonstrating the whole match, the Uprising managed to match the Fusion and eventually overtake them in the tie-breaking round. Boston may have swept Philadelphia here, but at least Philly still has that Lombardi trophy this year. The second match of the night was another East Coast battle, with the Florida Mayhem taking on the New York Excelsior. Map 1 was a great display of defensive work from the New York Excelsior. Taking place on Eichenwald, the team lost the first point to the Mayhem, but the Excelsior pulled it together to hold them off from any others. Mayhem ended up losing the map, but not without some great plays from players like Tivik, whose Farah continues to show great work. We mentioned in yesterday's recap that the occurrence of a tie within this league is something that hasn't been seen often. Well, apparently it is now, because the day after the Valiant and Dynasty tied on Anubis, the Mayhem and Excelsior tied on Horizon Lunar Colony. The match was a close battle between the two teams, so the outcome is not unbelievable, but it did serve as one less chance for the Mayhem to turn the match around. Helios is a control map, and the Excelsior wasted no time in securing point A. The team managed to defend their point through completion, with the Mayhem unable to grab it, giving New York a leg up. Point B saw some back and forth, with the Mayhem managing to hold 99%. Unfortunately for them, the dominance of the Excelsior came in the form of sniping the point back in overtime and ultimately winning the map and the series for New York. The last match of the night was Junkrat. The Excelsior had shown throughout the night that they meant business, and this last map was no different. New York secured the final map for themselves, as well as the top spot in the Stage 1 playoffs through a series of strong defensive and offensive moves, including some highlights from Libero's Junkrat. The final match of the night was also the most anticipated. The playoff implications of this match were huge, so there was a lot riding on the London Spitfire versus the Houston Outlaws. Eichenwald was the location for the first map of the match. The Spitfire started off strong, taking point 1 as expected, but the Outlaws, finally rejoined by Lynxer, upset the high-ranked team by holding them off any other points. When it was time for Houston to take the offensive run, they easily pushed past London's last position, claiming the first map and kicking off an exciting game. Anubis saw the Outlaws continue their dominant streak. With the playoffs standing in flux, the team clearly was ready to fight for the spot. Just like the previous map, the Spitfire managed to grab point A, but were stopped short of grabbing any of point B. When the Outlaws came out to attack, they pulled out another win, backed by the offensive efforts of Jake and Lynxer. Map 3, Oasis, was where the Outlaws managed to seal the deal. Hot off the first 2 map wins, the team showed no mercy to the Spitfire, who in turn were unable to win any of the control points. The Spitfire did manage to give the Outlaws a run for their money, but clearly not enough to prevent them from securing a match win. Although the Outlaws had already won the match, the team knew they couldn't let up for the last map on Dorado. Winning the map would secure them a better chance to make it to the playoffs, and in turn a chance for a nice cash prize, and losing would make their destiny hazier. Unfortunately for them, the Spitfire managed to pull together to secure a win, with players like Wu Yal pulling major damage. The score ended 3-1 in the Outlaws' favor, and the night drew to a close. The competition's heating up with the playoffs getting closer and closer, and we'll be here to keep you up to date. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, links are below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. From our house to yours, keep it here with the Game House for all your sports and esports needs.